All right, this is just a test, but we are going to attempt to factor these three trinomials. They are called trinomials because there are three terms, 1, 2, 3. And the general process, especially for these first two, is we're going to look at this last term, which is the constant term, and we're going to think about factors that multiply to equal negative 24 that can then add up to equal plus 5 in the middle. So we are going to have these parentheses, I'll call them parenthesis pairs, and in the parentheses pairs we're going to put our answer, and we know right off the bat before we play around with this last term that to get x squared we have to multiply an x times an x. Now we got to play the game with negative 24, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write negative 24, and we're going to write down all of the factor pairs that could multiply to equal negative 24. And there's quite a few of them. But again, our goal is to find one of the pairs that multiplies to negative 24 that will add to 5. So this is a kind of a guess and check game. As soon as you find the one that works, you do not need to keep going. I typically don't start with the 1 and 24 option. I start closer to the middle. So another number that goes into 24 would be 2 and 12. And to make a negative 24, one of these would have to be negative. So it could be negative 2 and 12 or 2 and negative 12. But if I were to add these two up, it would either equal 10 or negative 10, and that doesn't work. So moving through, 3 also goes into 24. So I could use 3 and 8. And again, one of these has to be negative to multiply to negative 24. So if I make a negative 3 and a positive 8, those two numbers do actually add up to equal 5. So we just found what adds to 5, and the same two numbers multiply to negative 24. So I can come up here and I can type in minus 3 and plus 8. And if I wanted to verify that my answer was correct, I could go back and with my answer, if I were to use our pre-practiced skill of foiling, which is first times first, outside times outside, inside times inside, last times last, I could verify, and that would give me x times x is x squared. Then I would have 8x and negative 3x, check, and negative 3 times 8, and I would be done.